take this down if you want to. Okay, we are live, Carl. This is behind the scenes. We're about to make a podcast.
Hi, Bill. How are you?
We're not quite starting yet, but that's good. Notice people do that. They have a tendency to speak even a little louder when the sound comes up. So I'm going to pull this back down a little bit. And do me a quick sound test. Just say,
hello, Bill.
What's the date today?
What is the date today?
Say your first and last name.
Karl Hall.
This is Bill Conrad, and I am a little low. It's frustrating to be low. Not me. I think my side of my system is going, oh, now I've got good sound.
All right.
So
coming in loud and clear now.
Carl, you ready to start Timeline of Success? We've got good video. We're in your office today. Where is your office located before we start?
555 South Center Street in Reno, Nevada is my wife's law firm.
Oh, your wife's law firm.
Yes.
Very good. I like that. My wife has a brokerage. So you can do both best of both worlds. So, Carl, welcome to Timelines of Success.
Well, thank you for having me, Bill.
And I appreciate the interview. I really enjoy doing what I call local interviews here in Reno, Nevada, but you have a lot to offer in your background and what you've done. So tell us a little bit about how you've evolved to be the attorney you are, and then we'll talk a little bit about how you're running for city attorney, which is unique in this city because it's actually an elected position.
Well, it's interesting. Initially when I was in high school and college, I envisioned being a professional baseball player and then going to law school. And the professional baseball didn't pan out. I went to law school. And my first job was with Lack, Salt, and Berry. And I was in private practice for 3 years. And our primary clients were John Esquaga's Nugget and Nevada National Bank. And when that firm closed down, essentially, I went over to the Washoe County District Attorney's Office as a prosecutor, and I was promoted in 1995 to a Chief Deputy District Attorney, where I supervised a staff of attorneys and essentially mentored them and taught them how to try cases and do the right thing by our victims.
So where'd you go to school? How'd you get your degree?
I went to school at University of San Diego, undergrad, and then I went to California Western School of Law.
And where's California Western?
San Diego.
San Diego also.
Yes.
Where are you from originally?
Carson City.
Oh,
grew up in Carson City.
Born and raised here and went down to San Diego.
Well, I traveled around a bit playing baseball.
Right.
Yep.
That's kind of neat.
Ended up there in San Diego.
California and Nevada are so close, and the people go back and forth, it seems. They're so close.
Oh, yeah. No, and it's great being here because if you want to go over and hit the coast, you can just pop right over the hill. And as a matter of fact, I do that quite often with my boys, go over and play basketball or baseball over in California. So it's very convenient to run over there and get some good weather and play some ball.
For me now, too, it's so nice to go and visit California and then come back.
Right. It's always good to get home.
Instead of staying there. I mean, I love California. It's beautiful, but this is a nicer place to live. So driving on, Carl, when you talked about you got out of college, your first job, you worked in a firm. How long did you work in the firm?
3 years.
3 years. And then you became a DA? No, you were teaching.
No, then I became a deputy district attorney.
Outstanding.
For Mills Lane. And then I was there for 25 years.
That's a long time.
Years.
So that's a career in itself.
Right. So I was a supervisor for 20 years, actually. So that was a lot of attorneys that I worked with over those years.
Well, a young attorney coming out of school right now, tell them why they should go and become a DA and how much the good, the bad, the ugly.
Well, the reason I went there was to get trial experience. And I have over 80 jury trials under my belt as a lead prosecutor. So I definitely got the experience that I was looking for. It was very rewarding in terms of taking those cases that I thought were difficult but needed to go forward and, seeking justice and making sure that criminals were punished and victims were represented solidly by somebody that cared about them and doing the right thing.
Staying 25 years, you stayed, that's longer than normal. I know a lot of friends who have gone through and they started 3 to 5 years and they've gone out to private practice, but you must have stayed there because you liked your work.
Oh, definitely. I liked it. I enjoyed, the camaraderie in the office, and I enjoyed the work.
Now, how much can you talk about the different kind of cases? Were there some cases that you liked better than the others? I'm sure winning it's not really winning and losing because it's justice.
Right. I mean, obviously, you don't want to get a not guilty verdict when you go into court on a criminal case. and I didn't get very many of those. But the whole point was, as you say, seeking justice. And, as my career evolved, I probably did more homicide murder cases than any other type of case. But I also did, if there was a case that was very complicated in the office, some of those elder exploitation, elder abuse cases were complicated, technical, embezzlement cases. So, I would step up to the plate and handle the cases that I thought warranted, the chief deputy taking those in.
Now, the DA is elected here also, correct? About going that route?
No, when I left the district attorney's office, I took a position with Nevada Legal Services because I did a lot of work with the Elder Protective Services, and it seemed like a natural fit.
Is that a nonprofit?
That's a nonprofit, Nevada Legal Service nonprofit organization. And so the joke was, when I left the DA's office, they gave me an office at the senior center.
That's a good thing to do, though, because if seniors do get, I've seen that happen. People get taken advantage of, especially in this modern society of connectivity and the computers.
That position was very rewarding. There was 2 attorneys and a paralegal that I supervised over there, and 2 support staff. So I was the directing attorney over there. So I ran that office. And basically, we just got funded in 2013 in July. And since I've been there, it's been a year. We've helped hundreds of seniors and just a wide array of civil matters, and it's been great.
I talked to a lot of people on this show. You're probably 100th, so you're going to be, I think, 78th tonight to go up. There's 20 others. And one thing we found is running a nonprofit, and you were the head of it, that's a very entrepreneurial skill set, because you have to get the money coming in, you've got your clients and services, and you've got to manage an operations.
Well, I was basically the manager of the operation. And so getting the money, obviously I wanted to do some advertising. So, we prepared, the websites and did the advertising to make sure that the clientele knew of our existence and could utilize it. But as far as going out and getting the money, our executive director was pretty much in charge of doing the bidding for.
So you had a hired executive director.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So what was your position?
All in Nevada Legal Services. So I'm
all of it. Okay, all throughout the state.
Right. So that's throughout the state.
Right.
So I had the senior service portion here in Reno, Washoe County.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
So the whole Washoe County I served.
And Nevada is only like 2.4 million people. So how many different branches are there in legal services?
Well, there's only 2 offices, so here in town. But there's only 1 senior service center, and that's the one I run.
Yeah. And in Las Vegas, I take it you have.
Right. In Las Vegas, there's another chapter down there.
So, same organization.
Yes.
Right. So what made you, for going back, now your wife is also an attorney.
Right.
That's unique. That's good and bad, I guess. Now it's
very good. She's a good attorney, and we have a lot of things to talk about, and a lot of things in common. And so it's, I like to help her on her trials because I have, a lot of trial experience. And so when she gets ready to go or has legal issues, I jump in. And
now, do you have a family?
I have 3 children, 2 boys, 16 and 13, and a daughter who's 11.
How has your careers affected your kids and families?
Right. We both work, but, we take time to be with them. And, a lot of times you have to work on weekends and at night and bring work home. But, you just have to balance your schedule.
That's good. So we've got from high school to elementary school still.
Yep. 6th grader, an 8th grader, and a junior in high school.
Yeah. They like the schools here?
Yeah. They're great students and good athletes and musicians, and I'm very proud of them.
That's good. Keeps you busy. Now, I know that kids keep you busy, though, too, and all the extracurricular activities even more so.
Oh, absolutely. So it's great. I wouldn't have it any other way.
So would you encourage them to become attorneys?
I think they want to be doctors, actually. A couple of them aren't quite sure, but I know they see how hard we work. And, although they manage their time very well because they're good students and they work very hard between their athletics and their school.
Well, I come from a family business, grandparents, and I've heard that you should always have at least 1 attorney in the family. I don't know about 2.
Well, it's interesting because I have relatives. My brother-in-law, sister-in-law are both attorneys. My father-in-law is an attorney. my stepfather was an attorney, so yeah, there's a lot of attorneys in our family.
You know, that's a mentorship program. I was going to ask you, did you have any mentors as you're evolving? There must have been family mentors.
Oh, absolutely. My stepdad, Peter Laxall, was from...
Oh, Peter Laxall.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, he was great guy.
Wow.
I really miss him.
A pretty famous guy.
He was just
his brother. He and his brother.
Yes.
Well known in the state and in the country. The name Laxall, of course, was known during the Reagan administration.
Yes.
Very good. Yeah, it's pretty popular. That's so. Are you related to the Laxall who is running for office right now? He'll step. So mentoring is a key element in evolving, I would say, in whatever you do. And then for young people deciding what they want to do. When did you decide you wanted to become an attorney?
I decided I wanted to be an attorney, well, when I was in high school.
Did you know you wanted to go the DA route back then?
I wasn't sure which route I was going to take. However, once I was in civil practice and knowing how difficult it was to get into trial in civil practice as a young attorney, I thought that the DA's office would be a great opportunity to learn those skills and hone those skills.
Very good. So going into our next element, as you start transitioning, what has been the tough elements in transitioning to go from the DA to the nonprofit and now to running for city attorney? And then why are you running for city attorney? What makes you want to do that kind of work?
Well, commitment to community is essentially why I want to do that kind of work. I think it's a great opportunity for me to take my skill set, which is primarily management, to the office and provide excellent legal representation to the city council.
What does a city attorney, provides that advice to the council? Right. What else do they do?
Well, we also run Reno Municipal Court. So there's two
components.
I didn't know
that.
Yes. So there's a criminal component and there's also a civil component.
I've never, interesting. The city I'm from didn't have that element.
Right. So, we can do a lot of justice over in Reno Municipal Court, domestic violence, prostitution, some drugs, DUIs, traffic, batteries, all of those misdemeanors that flow into that court. Obviously, we're going to be handling all those. And then on the civil side, handling all contract disputes and all the issues that come before the city council.
Just for the listeners out there, because we actually have worldwide listeners and 2/3 of the people are outside the state who are listening to this show. In Nevada, prostitution is actually legal in some counties.
It's not legal in Reno, in Washoe County.
It's not legal in this county, nor Clark, right?
Right, Story County is one.
Right, next door you hear the Mustang Ranch is probably the most famous, which isn't far. So you have to deal with the prostitution element here. That's
right. There have been some issues over on 4th Street primarily, and certainly we're not going to tolerate that element here on, just don't like the streetwalkers here, and we're not going to tolerate that.
Well, driving forward, since you're from Reno, we always do a commercial for Northern Nevada. So tell us why you like it here and why a person should stay here or come here.
Well, you've got 4 seasons, you've got great outdoor activities, the weather is great, and the people are phenomenal. It's a real tight community, and as long as I've been here, everybody. As a matter of fact, Mark Amadei, I saw him the other day at one of the functions, and he recalls us playing baseball together in Carson City, 45 years ago.
So you guys are about the same age?
Yes.
He's a boomer? You're both boomers?
Right. So, it's just a great community. I think everybody has the same idea in promoting, our community and making it a great place to live. And I want to be part of that.
Yeah. One thing I want to clarify, when they say the 4 seasons, I lived on the East Coast. Our winter is not like an East Coast winter. Our winters are wonderful. I imagine they're pretty close to what it's like in Denver, even milder than Denver, though.
I recall when I was a kid growing up in Carson, the winters we had a lot more snow, and some years you have more snow than others. So I'm hoping that we get a lot of snow this year because we're in a drought right now.
Yeah.
So.
But when the sun comes out, even with snow, it's warm.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just high. We're about, what's Carson, close to 5,000 in the valley.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So the sun is very warm, and our hilltops go, relatively high. And we got down to the south, you're going to have the highest point in the United States, continental United States, not Whitney. And that's a ways, it's a few hours, but it's still, we have a beautiful mountain line here in Lake Tahoe from where you lived. It's Highway 50, where you grew up, 20 minutes away, 25 minutes to get to the lake. That's nice.
used to ride my dirt bike through the mountains on a dirt road to get up to Lake Tahoe.
A bike?
A dirt bike. Back when I grew up in Carson, you played baseball and you had a dirt bike.
That sounds like fun, but it sounds like awful hard. That's a steep hill going straight up.
No, it was the dirt roads.
Really?
Yeah, you just take a dirt road and back roads all the way up.
I can't imagine.
Kings Canyon.
I
get all the way up.
At Kings Canyon. I know where Kings Canyon is. That must have been fun. It's changed a lot. What changes have you seen since you've been a kid?
Oh, just development. Yeah, mostly. There used to be a lot of farm areas. We used to count the horses when we drive from Carson to Reno. The white horses.
The white. There's still a lot of wild horses out here. More than that.
But you don't see as many as you
really
used to.
I see them in Virginia Hills all the time. Really? So there used to be more.
Well, I'm just talking about horses in general. Wild horses.
We do have the cows. You ever see the Oreo cows between here and Carson City?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So that's very good. So going into our questions, I'm going to ask 4 questions, and we're in the bottom line up front section. So I'll bring those up here. We're also broadcasting live today behind the scenes, so you'll be able to watch that on timelinesofsuccess.com. So here's kind of my fun questions that I ask everybody, no matter what they do. It says, what type of phone and computer do you use?
I have an iPhone and an iMac computer.
How long have you had those?
I've had the iMac computer now for probably 4 years.
You ahead of me. I just went 2 years ago. I love them. What made you go that? And most attorneys work with PCs because of the word processing.
I had a PC at work and a PC at home. And when I was videotaping my children and tried to make a disc from their videotape on the PC, it's caused me a lot of angst. And so I went with the iMac because of the ease and transferring photos and stuff to them.
So do your kids have phones, smartphones, and your wife?
My oldest and my wife does.
Yeah, iPhones?
Yes.
So you're staying together with a plan.
Correct.
Very good. Sidetracking. Have you dealt with any issues with this smart communication technology in law? Have there been any cases?
Absolutely. No, you mean cases in terms
I just wonder, anything generating off an iPhone or illegalities, some of the texting.
Well, I can tell you.
Of
course. No, we've used technology, to track down suspects, and also, reviewing computers to. I've had some identity theft type.
Identity
cases,
theft, right? That's huge.
Right. And a lot of times you'll find information on the computer that would be incriminating when they're trying to use information that they've gathered to perpetrate fraud.
Yeah. My first experience with the Reno Police Force, the Reno School Police. I said that right. They recovered my daughter's phone.
Oh, is that right?
They pulled it up, boom, and recovered it.
Oh, awesome.
And they found it, tracked, went to the house. The officer went to the house, knocked on the door. A great guy.
Oh,
I was so impressed. He gave it to my daughter. Really, it was a wonderful experience.
Well, RPD's got a bunch of great guys working for him, that's for sure.
He's unique. He was a second career. He'd been a police officer on the East Coast. Had come here as semi-retirement and worked another 10 years in the PD.
Oh, I'll be done.
High caliber officer. And apparently there's a group of people like that. We love the school police. So very good. Next question driving on is, what are some of your favorite technologies? What technologies have you used in the profession?
Well, obviously love the computer. When I started, we didn't have computers and we weren't able to do research on a computer, and that has certainly changed the whole practice.
Right. We're in your library right now. You can see the library here.
Right.
It's beautiful.
These books don't get used nearly as much as they used to. Yeah. When I was going to law school, that's what we did in the library and do our research in the library by looking at books, but then shepherdizing them with another book. And we don't do that anymore. It's all on a computer.
I was listening to one of the richest people over in the Bay Area right now, who said initially got rid of all his books. And he's a really smart guy. He makes money in everything he does. Now he's buying up books. He said books will never be as inexpensive as they are now because no one's producing them. And these will be classics. These will go up in value, or going up in value. Because people just want to have this kind of a library. Like you have here.
Oh, absolutely. No, I still use these books from time to time, especially in the Nevada revised statutes, and there's a convenience factor to that.
Right. But still, online is to look something that's so fast. So fast. That's the thing. So what is your favorite quote? What quote motivates you? What quote do you live by?
Well, I want to live by practice what you preach.
Practice what you preach.
Yep.
I don't know if we can find out who the author is.
I don't know.
It's pretty old. That's like a parable. Practice what you preach. Let's give us an example. Well, what do you do that you?
Well, I want to set a good example for my kids, and so I want to show them that you want to treat other people with respect, and you want to be treated with respect. You want to be nice to others, and so I try and instill that in my children and make sure that I'm handling myself in a responsible fashion, that I don't take advantage of other people, and try and treat them as I would like to be treated.
You've prosecuted a lot of people, so you've seen the worst part of humanity, probably, in that aspect.
Yes.
People who don't practice that.
That's true.
What do you think the percentage of? It's sort of strange. Bad people come from all different walks of life, don't they?
Yes.
It's just not one element or one class.
No, there's not one economic class. There's not one social aspect that would contribute to a person committing crime. So
I've seen the highest ranking officers in the military get in trouble.
Yes.
I always wonder what
good
happens.
People can do bad things.
Yeah. And why do they do that?
I have no idea. I think different things motivate different people. Some people grow up and are capable of changing for the better.
Right.
Other people seem to have everything that would contribute to a positive environment and good instruction, good life, and then for some reason they see some thrill in doing bad things.
They make some stupid decision
and they make a bad decision.
Right. And some people never do. They just, the whole family, they stay straightforward.
Other people, respect others.
Do you ever think about that with your background in the practice? What causes that people to go bad?
I do. And as a matter of fact, I, try and analyze that all the time in a criminal case when you're trying to make a decision as to what the appropriate thing would be to do when you come to sentencing. Where has this person been? What opportunities have they had? What opportunities can you provide them to change their lifestyle? Or some cases, how long should they be put in prison?
Yeah, that's got to be probably one of the hardest things about what you did. That thought right there, it must have just gone through the mind over and over.
Right. You obviously want to do the right thing by everybody. So it's
society.
It's a balancing.
Yeah, it is interesting. Interesting background. That's why you have timelines. They're all different. The older you get, the more you see too. So, who's your favorite author and book?
Well, I like one of my favorite books is Bill Bryson and History of Nearly Everything, just because it covered such a wide variety of issues and history, and I just thought it was a very interesting book.
We'll have the link to that on Timelines of Success in the questions or on your little iPhone, as you can see the link. So it's tying it all together. What do you I'm going to repeat this. I'm going to actually take this out. I actually edit it. So in tying it all together, what do you do in your off time? When you're not working in your nonprofit, your wife's working, and you're running for office. You don't have much off time right now.
Well, I did a lot of coaching with my kids when they played, from soccer to basketball to baseball. And, I like to ride my bike in the mountains.
Still your dirt bike?
I have a dirt bike and I like to ride my dirt bike. I've got some buddies in town and we try to get out periodically and kick up some, little dirt.
Where do you go here? On the east side?
All over.
Really?
From Peavine, Boca Stampede, the Pine Nuts. Sometimes we take trips.
Is there a club here? Is there a club here? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I used to do some desert racing, but I'm getting a little older now, so I'm not quite in shape for desert racing.
That sounds like a really good sport.
It's a kick in the pants, fresh air, great exercise. I love it.
Once you buy your bike, it's not too expensive.
Right. You can just throw your bike in the back of your pickup and, head for the hills and get a couple hours in, get 40, 50 miles in. It's, you feel great and get some fresh air. And it's
I interviewed Congressman Aden yesterday, or 2 days ago,
mm-hmm.
and he was up last night on Timelines of Success. And you knew him when you were young. You played baseball. But he was talking about what he liked to do. And it's funny when he talked about bikes. He said, yeah, I go on eBay and I bought my old bike. I tried to find the bike that I had.
Oh,
because he said he liked riding bikes too when he was a kid.
Yeah, I grew up on bikes.
Yeah. In Carson City, right?
Right.
So, and you knew him down there. Did you know him?
I did.
You guys close in high school?
He was on the Phillies. I was on the Dodgers. I mean, we weren't buddies or anything. He was a year behind me. So,
okay.
We
same high
really
school?
hang out, but yeah, I remember,
okay.
The Phillies.
Very good. So in closing, what is the most important takeaway that you have or advice for the listener? For those who want to follow in your footsteps.
I would say set your goals high. And that's what I have done in this particular case by running for Reno City Attorney. I think I can really assist the City Council, run a strong office, and I really want to be a bigger part of the community. And so setting my goals high, I think, has been very inspiring. And the support that I have from the community has been inspiring.
Yeah, the people you meet. That's the good part about campaigning.
Not the people I meet, but the people I know that have
right.
supported me, either both financially, emotionally, every way. It's been very gratifying, and I'm really hoping to get elected.
That's a good point. Running for office is, whether you win or lose, is a very honorable thing to do. People don't see it that way. A lot of the average citizen who's out there who sees candidates running, but it's a tough thing to do. If you go through it and experience what you're going through, running for office is tough. It's a lot of work, but there are benefits too. It's a lot of work.
It's been a lot of work, but I've been out in the neighborhoods meeting a lot of people, and additionally seeing a lot of people that I haven't seen for a long time.
Right.
And so it's been great as far as the opportunity to get out and meet more folks and shake some hands and find out, what people are thinking about the community and how I can better, assist in making this a better place.
It's a huge job interview.
Sure is.
And by the way, I love your truck.
Oh,
we'll have a picture of you. We'll have to put a picture of your truck out.
Great.
On the site.
Sounds good.
Very good. So how can we reach you? How can the listener
email me? You can call me at 775-771-9139. That's an easy way to contact me on my iPhone. You can also send me an email at Karl@karlhallreno.com, and that's Karl with a K. Karl@karlhallreno.com.
And then also your website is Karl, K with a K.
Right.
KarlHall, Reno.com. So they'll find it. Very good. So we have one last question. I don't know how important this question is, but it's a good question. What's your favorite food?
Favorite food is turkey.
Oh, turkey. Good healthy food. Little soup there.
That's my favorite. My mom used to make that for me.
Oh, big turkey.
So a big.
You like the turkey leg?
Yes, I do.
Is that your favorite part?
I always get a hard time if we go down to Disneyland and I get a turkey leg.
I've heard about. My daughters have told me about those. I haven't had them to go to Disneyland for a long while. I heard they're great.
Oh, they are good. My
Very
kids
good.
give me a hard time when I grab one of those.
Well, Karl, it's a healthy meal. It's a real healthy
It's
meal.
good.
All right, Karl. Well, thank you for coming on Time on Success, and good luck with your campaign.
Well, thanks, Bill. I appreciate it.
Take care.
Thank you.
So we'll finish this up. See, Karl, what we're doing here, we're going to turn this off. This worked. This is the first time I've ever used my iPhone that's worked, as opposed to someone's internet. That's a good sign.